A woman offered me $5,500 to pretend to be her husband for the summer. But when I arrived at her company retreat and saw my ex-wife with her supervisor, she told me, I swear I didn't know about Nathan. I took the next flight home. That was 3 months ago. This morning, she stood at my doorstep, her makeup smeared with nothing left to say. The mascara streaks ran down her face like cracks in porcelain, black rivers cutting through foundation. Lily Sterling stood on my doorstep at 6:43 in the morning, wearing yesterday's clothes, holding nothing but her phone and car keys. Her hands were shaking so badly the keys jingled. I'd spent 3 months trying to forget those hands, the way they'd felt when she'd slipped a wedding band onto my finger, in front of her entire company, the way they'd reached for me when I'd walked away, at that resort in Colorado, leaving her standing alone while everyone stared. Now those same hands were trembling on my doorstep, and I had no idea what to do. I'd been divorced for 8 months when Lily first approached me. 8 months of living in a studio apartment that smelled like regret. 8 months of microwave dinners, and avoiding my mother's calls asking when I'd start dating. 8 months of seeing my ex-wife Diana's face, remembering the way she'd looked when she said she wanted a divorce. Not angry, not sad, just done. I was working as a software engineer in Austin, pulling 70-hour weeks, because going home felt worse than staying late. That's where I met Lily. Business development on the 3rd floor. The kind of woman who turned heads without trying. Dark hair always pulled back. Designer suits that cost more than my rent. We'd never spoken until she cornered me in the break room on a Friday afternoon. I was making my 4th coffee when she walked in, closed the door, and said the words that would change everything. I need to hire you for the summer. $5,500. 3 months? You pretend to be my husband. I'd laughed, thought it was a prank. But Lily didn't smile. She pulled out her phone, showed me her account balance. $312,000. Then she pulled out a printed contract, 12 pages, single-spaced. I'm serious, she said. My company is doing a summer program with multiple retreats. I need a husband. My boss has been pressuring me about work-life balance. Says I'm too focused on career. Having a husband makes me look stable, less of a flight risk. The contract spelled everything out. 4 company events over 3 months. Memorial Day picnic, 4th of July barbecue, midsummer retreat in Colorado, end of summer gala. I'd play devoted husband, supportive, professional, charming, no physical intimacy beyond hand-holding, and occasional cheek kisses for appearances. After Labor Day, we'd quietly divorce. $5,500 in 3 installments. I'd asked why me. Lily had looked at me with those sharp green eyes and said I had the right look. Stable, educated, non-threatening. Someone who needed the money enough to say yes. She was right. The divorce had cost me everything. Diana got the house. I got $38,000 in debt for kitchen remodels and furniture. And the vacation to Greece we'd taken 2 months before she asked for the divorce. I was drowning, so I said yes. We practiced our story over coffee. We'd met at a conference 2 years ago. Got married in California 6 months later. Kept it quiet. I memorized her favorite foods, her parents' names. She memorized mine. We rehearsed until our origin story felt bulletproof. The first event was Memorial Day. The wedding ring she handed me was simple platinum. Lily's boss, Richard Ashford, shook my hand with a grip that felt like a test. Finally get to meet the mysterious husband, he'd said. I'd smiled and said I traveled for work, consulting. We survived the picnic. Then, the 4th of July. Then planning for Colorado started, and everything began to feel different. Lily started texting me outside of event logistics, random observations, complaints about clients, photos of her lunch. I started responding, not because I had to, but because I wanted to. We fell into a rhythm that felt less like acting and more like friendship, maybe more. The night before Colorado, Lily called me. She'd never called before. I'm nervous, she'd admitted, voice softer, vulnerable. This retreat is 3 days. That's a long time to maintain a performance. What if someone figures out we're not really married? I told her we'd be fine, but my hands had been shaking when I hung up because I'd realized something terrifying. I didn't want it to be a lie anymore. The retreat was at Mountain Sky Lodge outside Aspen. 200 employees, 3 days of team building and networking dinners. Lily and I shared a room, king bed, mountain view. We arrived Thursday afternoon. First event was a welcome reception at 6. Lily disappeared into the bathroom and emerged in a black dress that made my mouth go dry. We walked down to the reception together. Her hand in mine felt natural now, not performance, just real. The reception was in the main lodge, floor-to-ceiling windows, open bar, 200 people pretending this was fun. That's when I saw her, Diana, my ex-wife, standing by the bar in a green dress I didn't recognize, laughing at something the man beside her was saying. Full story is linked below or on my channel.